Oh, hey there, YouTube. Kenny here, also known as SilentFan85. Welcome to another gamer log. So here's how my morning was going. I had a little bit of a schedule. I was going to stream some Ark later on today if I had the chance. I was going to try to finish up my Beyond Two Souls series, which I use PlayStation Now to record. And then I checked the PlayStation blog. And here's what I saw. PlayStation Now streamed PS4 games in 2017. The PS Now game streaming library is set to expand this year with PS4 games, playable on PS4 and Windows PC with a single subscription. Big news, people. Big news. Now, let's carry on. Let's get the details before we either get very pissed off or very hyped. As many of you know, PlayStation Now lets you stream hundreds of PS3 games. I already knew that. Currently 483 to be exact, to your PS4 and Windows PC. We're excited to announce that PS Now's catalog is set to grow even further, as we'll be expanding to include a new platform, PlayStation 4 Games. All of the games in the service, including PS4 games, will be included in a single PS Now subscription. We'll share this information as we get closer to launch, so stay tuned. In the next few weeks, we'll kick off a private test with PS4 games on PS4 Now, PS Now. If you're an active PS Now subscriber, keep an eye on your email in case you get an invitation. I am expecting an invitation because I've been signed up since it first launched. So, as long as they stick to what Blizzard does. Because Blizzard actually provides pretty decent service with getting invited to betas. So, if you're new to PS Now, the subscription service offers access to a large and very ever-expanding library of games. Since PS Now utilizes our cloud streaming technology, you can access the entire catalog of games, select one, and start playing quickly without waiting on downloads. Also, PS Now uses cloud saves, letting you start a game on PS4 and continue playing on another PS4 or even a Windows PC, or vice versa. If you haven't gotten the service to try yet, now's the perfect time to give it a spin with a 7-day free trial. It's worth it if you want to try it out. Just be aware, you do need to provide a credit card. Here's a list of some of the most popular games on PlayStation during February. Red Dead Redemption, Tekken Tag Tournament 2, Mortal Kombat, WWE 2K15, Last of Us, Mafia, Injustice, NBA 2K14, Sid Meier's Civilization, and Batman Arkham Origins. So, what does this mean for the PlayStation 4? Now, let me just go and say, I know I didn't have to read that whole thing, but I wanted to give you all a breakdown of what's going on. Now, down in the comments below, which I'm not going to put up because some of them are pretty awful, to be honest, there is a bit of a fear going around that this means the end of PlayStation consoles. I don't think that's the case. Here's the deal. My idea on this is that what Sony's going to be doing is streaming a very select titles. It's just like with the PlayStation 3 titles. They can only stream certain ones. Because mainly licensing contract issues with different gaming studios and stuff like that. Now, does this mean we'll start getting day one games on PlayStation Now? That's very doubtful. Very doubtful. Sony still has a lot invested in the PlayStation 4, and they're not going to do anything to endanger that. But at the same time, they do also want to help folks that don't have a PlayStation 4 get access to some of their library. And if you can do that on PC, I'm applauding it. Main reason being, I have played a few games that people really want to play, but they don't have a PlayStation 4. But they also, however, do have a PC. Now, the current game I'm streaming, Horizon Zero Dawn, people really want to play. Now, I don't expect this to be right available on the streaming service. Unless Sony really wants to launch the PlayStation Now service right. The reason I say that is because there's a lot of hype for Zero Dawn right now. If this is to release, it doesn't give a date, I don't think. PS Now, the next few weeks. Okay, so there will be a private test within a few weeks. Now, if they're set to launch it a couple months from now, and the hype's still kind of strong for Horizon Zero Dawn, which I expect it to be strong for at least a year or so, they could do that. They could make that just one major game, even if for a month or so. That would have very little impact on sales. Because the game's already selling. But they obviously don't want to put the news out there that it will be available on PlayStation Now. They haven't even released a list of the games yet. But if they do that, again, it would provide a very strong start to the PlayStation Now service. Now, what games will they put up there? Hard to say. Probably a lot of the PlayStation 4 remasters, some of the original launch titles for PlayStation 4, Uncharted 4, I would think for certain. That would be a fairly strong PlayStation Now launch title as well. So, you know, that's just my theory, but I don't see this having a very serious effect on the console. I'm getting messages. But it is very exciting, especially for those that can't afford a PC. Now, or can't afford a PlayStation 4, not a PC. Obviously, if you have a PlayStation 4, or if you have a PC, you're watching this, or watching on a mobile, or on TV or something. But majority of my viewers, about 90% comes from PC. About 10% from mobile. It's the same for my streaming viewers as well. So, my idea is that this won't have a big impact on the console industry, at least not for a while. There is a chance that maybe Sony's trying to get away from consoles and trying to go more PC, because let's be honest. There's always been this thing between console and PC. Now, if Sony is trying to exit the game for good within a certain time span, years from now, I would say maybe at least 5 or 6 years from now, if that, then good on them. If they're trying to get in onto PC and maybe trying to launch a service like Steam, it could do very well. But at the same time, I don't see that happening. I really don't, because PlayStation does have a very devout following. And while Sony, I'll say it straight up, while Sony does have a pretty dark history of screwing people over sometimes, I don't see them making that major move, because they've already got too much invested in certain games, especially the Final Fantasy and Kingdom Hearts series, from my point of view. So, if it does happen, I don't see it happening anytime soon, but it would be interesting to see. But I am very glad they're doing this, because again, it does give folks access that haven't been able to play PlayStation 4 games. They can now play them on PC. And I'm hoping I get a test. If I do, and as long as there's not a disclosure agreement, or an NDA, non-disclosure agreement, I will definitely put up some test play footage and let y'all know how the service is going. Now, if you're interested in PlayStation Now, it is a very cool service. Again, 483 titles for PlayStation 3. Very cool titles, by the way, including Red Dead Redemption, which you read earlier, for those interested. So if you don't happen to have a local store that you can buy a PS3 from, or find titles anymore, the service, I believe, what I'm paying right now is $30 a month for it. Now, I know that's a lot, but for what you get access to, and especially with this new upcoming feature, it's a pretty good deal. By the way, I was no way endorsed by Sony to say this. I'm just a fanboy. But anyway, so, just to recap, PlayStation Now is now getting PS4 games. Not a whole lot of titles, probably just a select few, I would say, at the start. Maybe more later on if it picks up. And then there's a chance that if the PlayStation 4 titles don't do anything, if they don't help the PlayStation Now subscriber base expand, there's a chance they may just remove the feature whatsoever, because there's more demand for a cloud service to stream PlayStation 4 games. And when I say demand, I mean like server load on their computers, than there is to stream PlayStation 3 games. So I can see that being expense to Sony. And if they decide to cut out PlayStation 4 emulation or streaming, then it would save them money in the long run, and they could still keep the service going for a PlayStation 3. But at the same time, there's a very limited quantity of PlayStation 3 games that they're going to be able to add. So there is a chance where one day, unless they rotate the titles, which they may, that PlayStation 3 titles will come to a dead stop, unless they work out new licensing agreements. But who's to say? But anyway, I don't think it'll have a huge impact. It is a little scary for some people, but I think it's a very cool boon for the PlayStation Now service, and a very cool decision at the same time. So anyway, that's just one man's opinion. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment. Remember, you're awesome. Never let the world tell you otherwise. Now I'm going to try to finish one of my favorite series of all time. See you.